lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan,
And I'm Manny.
and today we're gonna be going through man, it's making me feel old. I just looked at the date. An issue of Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 50 from 1993. Fuck, this is I was 31 years old, this comic. Holy crap,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
Super stoked. This has been sitting around for a long time, and you kind of prompted us to talk about this, and I was really glad you did, because like this cover alone by Brian Boland is super striking. And
It's creepy as fuck.
yes, it's embedded in my brain too. But before we get into this, I just want to remind everybody, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Check out some of the dope content on the channel, interviews, reviews, indie creator spotlights, artist edition episodes, all that good stuff. So check it out. And now let's get into this book by Dennis O'Neil and Bret Blevins. And there's also what we're going to talk about at the end, a really dope selection of pinups by some absolute legends. Look at this ad, dude. I have to call this out. This Nightfall ad. This is before we get that, in my opinion. I don't know.
All the Nightfall ads
Yeah.
are amazing to me. With all that Kelly Jones art, like talk about embedded. You mentioned earlier how this cover is embedded in your mind.
Yeah.
All the Nightfall stuff is embedded in mine too.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
We should do Nightfall.
I'm down. This is right when I got into comic books, dude. Like,
yeah,
I got into comic books. I was born 87. I feel like it was like I was on the tail end of being 5, so it's like right into
what a great time, man.
right into 93. And yeah, some of these ads are just like super like prominent in my mind. So when I see it, it's like I instantly get transported back to that feeling of being a little kid again. First of all, it's on glorious newsprint, but I love this story because it's set in the past. And also, Dennis O'Neil is one of like the all-time premier Batman writers. I mean, whether it was actually no, Batman creators, because whether he was writing or editing, he had a hand in some of the best Batman stories in the history of comics, I think. But yeah, so this is set, I think you were the one that said it was like set shortly after year 1. I mean, they don't mention it here. It's clear that it is. They don't mention
it's short. It's shortly after that ending of year 1 where like Gordon has like, meeting with Batman, and he's talking about how like, someone's poisoned their reservoir is calling himself the Joker, like that. I think that's mentioned in here. I mean, it's not explicit, but like,
sure.
It's it is made clear that this is like probably the first meeting, at least, in that kind of continuity between the Joker and Batman.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at this point, Batman doesn't even know who the fuck the Joker is. Joker is also like, the way he's written is super menacing. And I don't think he was like quite this way at this point in time in continuity. Because obviously, like, throughout his throughout comic books, throughout DC's history, he's had multiple personalities of like, he's super like, criminal oriented, or he's super like comedic, right? Like all these different, and that's why they did that whole Three Jokers miniseries a few years ago, right? To kind of like have an answer for that.
Yeah.
By the way, Chip Zdarsky has a great take on that in the most recent like Joker Year 1 story. If anybody listening or watching hasn't read it, including you, Manny, I highly recommend
it. I have read it. Yeah. I've been reading it.
So. It's so good. But anyways, back to this. Bret Blevins also is not an artist I normally think about off top of my head. But this Joker is fantastic.
Oh, dude, it's super creepy and super like disturbing, like I mean, my favorite Joker is, you mentioned the cover by Brian Boland. To me, he's drawn the best Joker.
Of course.
And that's because I read Killing Joke at such a pivotal moment when I was young. And that was really my introduction to the Joker as a character, aside from the 89 Batman, So that's burned in my mind. That image is burned in my mind. But Blevins is great because like there's enough of like the classic Joker that people were probably used to from like the Silver and Bronze Age. But he definitely ups like the fucking psychotic factor of him, because like that grin and the way he draws the eyes, it's like
and when he's like talking to himself in the mirror right here, I love him so much I can nibble his ear, and he's like, it's fucking weird, dude. And like these henchmen, like Joker doesn't have that like cachet yet at this point in continuity, right? And this scene right here of Batman jumping through, and we see the glass shards reflecting Joker's face. Now, I am 100% sure that probably isn't accurate, but that's what I love about comics. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
whether the
yeah, yeah.
angle's
I know
right.
what you mean. Like there's probably no way that that out could be refracted that way. It's the way that
Yeah.
light and reflection works. But who the fuck cares? It's a cool looking image, man. And it's again amazing. Yeah, man. I mean, this whole comic is like a little hidden gem that like I think either gets forgotten easily or doesn't get talked about. And you can say that about Legends of the Dark Knight in general because there's some
Dude,
really fucking
good,
great shit in those, man.
good fucking call on that. That is so true that, even I'm guilty of it too, man. Like I sometimes forget about it when I'm going to like back issue bin diving. Like this is the title I should be checking out and I
Yeah,
should be looking for. And they also had a really good one, Legends of the DC Universe, that I've recently picked
yes.
up some issues of, and that
And you
has been
find both of those in dollar bins, man. And
yeah.
like they are completely worth a dollar. I mean, Legends of the Dark Knight has Matt Wagner, Grant Morrison, like I mean,
Mike
just
Mignola.
Mike Mignola. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And why DC hasn't collected it, I don't know. But hey, if anyone from DC is watching or listening, think about collecting these because I think you got something that'll sell.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we probably should do some more episodes on it. Maybe the more that it's
Oh,
out
for
there in the
sure.
world. I like this too, as Joker's like grading the fight that Batman's doing. I love this scene too, Batman on the ground, where you see like the little effect of him moving, and the movement is just like the little line of his cowl with the
Yeah,
ears.
dude.
That upwards kick, that's fucking super, super cool. And he doesn't know, dude. This is crazy. Like, I mean, just like us knowing who Joker is, and Batman's like sitting there talking to him. He's like, "Have we met?" I don't think so. I probably would have remembered. And like, he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just a poor circus clown, kidnapped by those felons for the purpose of providing cruel entertainment." These three panels, dude, are fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, talk about like being able to capture like the Joker's expressions and like
Yeah.
again, Blevins is someone that like I don't think about often, but now I'm like I need to go back and see what he's done and pick some more up because like he's got like a grit to him that is unlike a lot of artists at this time.
For me, like as I'm reading it, I'm like seeing some Kelly Jones in
Yep.
there. I'm seeing some Dennis Cowan in there.
Yep.
Um,
Oh,
y-
100%, dude.
so it's like it's interesting because I don't know when Brett Blevins comes onto the scene, so I don't want to like obviously like any artist, like you can still pull from current artists. You don't necessarily have to pull from artists that were a generation before you, but that's just what I'm seeing as I'm looking. And yeah, I agree. I want to look up some more stuff and then maybe reach out to him, get him on the channel, dude, because I don't think there's enough coverage of him out there. This Hawkman ad too is fucking pretty dope.
Yeah, it's dope, dude. What a great period for ads in DC. Like their in-house ads at this point were fucking awesome.
They probably had a really good art director too. Yeah, I love this. Joker's at the Happy Camper trailer park, and he walks in and he's talking to this, as he calls him, this idiot savant, and it's just like
Yeah.
this random kid who,
He calls him his
basically,
cousin, which is probably not true.
yeah. By the end of the story, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's not.
Remember,
Um,
the Joker is like
he's
that's one thing
nuts.
I love, and yeah, and the three Jokers kind of did that. It's just like he's constantly recreating his origin and like what led him to be like it doesn't even fucking matter. He's like a force of nature, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and I love how this story really sort of plays into that, where like he's just kind of like almost yeah, sure the year one sort of shows you that and Killing Joke shows you that like he fell into the vat and all that, but like even that can be called into question. It's almost like he was fully formed, like just came out of the ether to cause chaos and havoc.
the way I looked at it with Red Hood is he was just unlocked.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
that's
unlocked
a
when
good
he
way to
fell
put it.
into
Yeah,
the vat of acid. But here is really funny too, because he's like convincing this guy to make this, to make the Joker serum for him. And
yeah,
the kid's questioning himself, and he's like, "No, no, we're family. We got to take care of each other." And so he like manipulates him, and then we get this fucking scene, which is like, it's so like casual that he's pouring this into the cat's thing, and then the cat just
yeah, dude, it's
dies.
fucked up.
Yeah. And then we get to see not Commissioner Gordon quite yet, but Captain Gordon. As like you pointed out, this is, shortly after year one, so he's not quite the commissioner yet. But what's funny is like he's like this sergeant tells him to get in. It's Batman. And he's like,
Yeah,
"How'd you
yeah,
change your clothes so fast?" And so like then he makes his escape again. I love this, dude. I love when Batman can fucking get in and out like super quick. And it's
Hmm.
only effective, I think, in a comic book form. It definitely like doesn't hold the same weight in like when it's in the films. But he's like realizing what this, that the Joker is the clown that he was fucking talking to. I always, and you know what? And I kind of like this too, dude. The Batcave without like super, super high tech, where it's just like some computers, a desk. It's not like,
Yeah, it's before all the craziness. I'm glad you brought that up because it triggered something I wanted to mention. It's like I also like this sort of like more like like low key Batman. He's not as high tech. He's still kind of operating like very DIY. I mean, obviously more than most people because he's still a
right.
fucking billionaire.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, it's not quite the like insanely high tech, right? Like it's just like,
Yeah,
oh, I miss Alfred, dude.
yeah,
Every time I read these comics, it just makes me miss Alfred in the current continuity. I wish they would just bring him back already.
I'm sure
But
that they will.
yeah, they need to. I love this right here. This guy that's gotten poisoned by Joker, but it's the slow
Yeah,
transformation. That's fantastic, dude.
yeah, and a nice use of an 8 panel grid as opposed to the nine because like the first six are very much cut up like a 9 panel grid division, but like having the two larger panels at the bottom really emphasizes that transformation so well.
Yeah. Oh, it is right here, dude. The face just keeps stretching. It almost, and then his tongue's like wagging out as he falls. Oh my
It's
God, dude.
grotesque, man.
And he
It's
sees that the
awesome.
the way that the Joker was able to get the poison into his system was through the piece of paper. Like that's
Yeah.
fucking insane. And then this part right here, dude, where he's like, "Man, I had him and I let him waltz away. So who should I blame?" And Alfred's like, "It's not your fault. The Joker's a murderer." And then we get back to the fucking trailer park, dude.
I like too how that bottom image kind of falls behind the panels. There's some really cool layouts that Brett Blevins
Yeah.
is doing here. I love the way he draws faces. You know who else it reminds me of is Chester Gold
This
from
one,
Dick Tracy.
this, right? That
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like the way
All
the
of the
villains are.
henchmen, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good call too. Yeah. I love how he just refers to himself as an artist too. No, our true artist never repeats himself. Get this, these are some of my favorite scenes in Batman comics when Batman comes into Gordon's office and they're
same.
going over the crime, going over the case that they're fighting. And then look at this. It's just such a great scene, dude. He's about to jump out and he's like, "One more thing. May I have your permission to leave?"
Like that look on his face, that
Yeah.
cockiness.
The smirk, yeah.
I love the SWAT dudes very much like the ones in year one. I love the police force in Gotham when they show them, especially in this period.
Yeah, so they're going to protect this guy, and then they realize, nope, you can't save him, dude. This guy's gonna
Yeah,
get fucking killed also. And then like the fear and the panic that could set across a city when they realize that there's no kind of hope.
yeah.
And that speaks back to what you were saying, how the Joker's like a force of nature, like
I love these panels too. They're on the left-handed page, like the way they're more angular as composed as
yeah.
like they are so rigid.
Mhm.
Again, dude, there's a subtlety to what Brett Blevins is doing here that like it. I read this about 3 times before we were going to talk about it because I really wanted to soak in. And every time I read it, I noticed something different in the
Mhm.
art. Like a little detail I had noticed.
I really love this panel right here with Gordon, like just
Yes,
pushing up the
dude.
glasses on his face, holding his face. Like you could have had him do something different, but it's like
Eh,
that feels so real. Like he's so like worn out, he's so exhausted from what's
Yes,
going
man.
on that his
Good
glasses get
call.
pushed up,
And the
and
way that
then
the little detail, like the finger is slightly under the lens, man. Like you said, that
yeah,
again, subtle, man. Like this comic does have a lot of over the top moments, but there's a lot of like very delicate, subtle stuff being done. It's a great balance, man, which has the effect of making the story like very readable. And every time you read it, you notice something else.
we learn about the little boy for the trailer
Yeah,
park, dude, Melvin, the idiot savant, and then we see how Joker just fucking he has a subscription to this magazine and it was forwarded to the trailer park. So like that whole clown
yeah,
magazine from earlier, and that's how they realized who it is, dude. And it's crazy. This kid just has no idea what he's a part of. He's
yeah,
just driving the Joker. This is I love this type of stuff too. Speed lines,
yeah.
something we don't really see in comics anymore, but just having Batman like coming at us, the reader, ripping his clothes off with the Batman costume underneath. Ooh, right here, dude. This shit's so dope.
Oh yeah, this is when like all these action shots are great. I love the him punching the Joker, smashing through the glass. You know, kind of a nice play off the earlier panel you talked about with the mirror. You know, like it kind of has like it's
Yep.
like a similar look to it. Yeah.
And you see the glass shards like breaking the panel border over here and
Yep.
going behind the other panels. This right here, dude, I love the way Batman's again coming at us. Such
Yes.
a great action shot.
Yeah, dude. Very Kirby. You know,
Yeah.
like in the
The hand
perspective way.
reminds me of Neil Adams a little bit.
Yes, dude. You know, Brett Blevins is good at drawing hands, and hands are one of those things that I mean, I'm not an artist, but I know enough and talk to enough artists that hands are hard to draw.
This is fantastic. I love the detective work. Again, look at
Yeah,
that. A close up of the hand, right?
yeah, yeah.
And he's using the
He does hands a
magnifying
lot. Yeah.
glass. Like that's got to be like a hard like to change the focus of like that where he draws the face normal, but then zoom in on part of it. He did a fucking insanely good job on that. And then Joker's getting pushed into this fucking morgue. We think he's dead. Nope,
It's not even him.
not even
Again,
him.
you know, like there's so many things that are like classic Joker in this. You know, like the you know he's constantly doing stuff like that, like you know, like putting a fake dead body. You know, like using impersonators. Like,
This reminds me of Sienkiewicz a little bit.
oh yeah, dude.
That
Also,
silhouette.
David Mazzucchelli with the coloring in this page too. Like
Mhm.
this one does have like a you know like very much like a year one kind of vibe to it too.
Yeah, you're right.
Fucking great, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
just like having read it, you know, now like I'm just really like poring over the images. We're going through it now, and I'm like, dude, I mean this has got to be one of my favorite Batman comics. I think
Yeah.
so good.
Love all the purple here too.
Yep,
See,
great
Joker
coloring.
thinks he's gonna make his escape. This right here too, like we see like him into the vat, right? And how
Yeah,
the it was just a few months ago. And the guy in the trench coat is Batman, dude. I love it. I fucking
I
love it.
love it, dude. Yeah, again, that's classic. You know, like you know, like how Ben Grimm will wear a fedora and trench coat, and like all of a sudden nobody, you know, it's just great, man. You know, like it's filled with all these tropes, but they're used very effectively and they're drawn so well. Like it it's sort of like I mean, I don't know what the characterization of the Joker was in a regular title at this point, but it
No,
seems to
me
me like
either.
this is. I want to go back and look at what was going on in the regular books, you know, because you know Legends of the Dark Knight for the most part was out of continuity, but it seems like this could be a very pivotal book that kind of shifted both characters, especially post year one. You know, like where Batman and Joker were probably transitioning into much darker, more serious characters.
Dude, this is this sequence of panels too, where he's like, before you hold me off to jail, care for a whiff, sprays him with the gas, and then he throws the punch and he calls it a rather boring punch, not worth a bit more than 6.5. And Joker's pissed. He's like, that was a perfect 10. And he says, no, that was a 10, and lays him the
Great
fuck
image of
out.
the punch too, dude. I love
Yeah.
the speed line background, like the
Yeah.
coloring.
Yep. And then look at this, dude. It's such a telling thing. Like, first of all, when the fuck do you ever see Bruce Wayne in an all white suit? Never.
Maybe it's
I
a
mean,
callback to the Spirit. He kind of looks like the Spirit, you know.
a little bit. I like the way they do the shadow though, right? It looks like the Batman cowl.
Amazing, dude, amazing guy. Yeah, I hadn't really even see what I mean. Like I didn't really notice that until
No.
you. Again, one more thing I noticed, man.
And
There's so many
the last
details here.
line, we'll never have to worry about the Joker again.
Awesome, dude.
What a great line to end on, dude. I mean, this comic was so much fun. I'm so glad that you said to do this issue because I hadn't thought about it in a while. I mean,
Same,
obviously the
yeah.
cover is like embedded, but I just didn't think about doing it. And so reading it again after all these years, because it's been a long time, um, was so much fun. And then we get these phenomenal pinups. We got Jim Lee. I mean, look at that Jim Lee, dude. Like channeling
Dude,
Frank Miller a little
I
bit.
was gonna say that's definitely like you know like his like death blow like sort of
Yeah,
Miller era. You know,
yeah. Then we
amazing, dude. Every single one of these is great.
got Howard Chaykin, Phil Winslade,
Fucking beautiful, dude.
Kevin Maguire,
I love that one too, man.
yeah, P. Craig Russell.
Oh, bro, yeah, man.
What is this one? Ed Hannigan and John Beatty.
I love
This
the chaotic nature. Yeah.
Bob Wyasek and Walt Simonson.
Amazing, dude. That Joker silhouette is amazing.
Oh yeah. Then we get this Sandy Plunkett right here.
Yeah.
Tim Bradstreet, dude, is really good.
Tim Bradstreet, I love. I mean, he's someone that I've loved back when he used to do like illustrations for like RPGs and stuff. You know, like he used to do Vampire the Masquerade, and you know.
Then we get Brian
Brian
Stelfreeze,
yeah,
which is fucking sick, dude. This one is pretty crazy. Mark Schultz and Al Williamson.
I know, dude. You know, you got Mark Schultz did Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, right? Yeah, see, yeah, I got the T-Rex.
Kevin Nolan. I love this Kevin Nolan with Robin up in the corner peeking through, and Catwoman's just got him chained up.
Yeah, very, very BDSM, dude. You know, like bringing out the king for them. You know.
Mike Kaluta. We end with Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck is the last pinup. Fucking awesome, dude.
Amazing, dude. What a great comic.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that ad too. Reign of Superman. Such a great issue, dude.
We could do a whole video with the in-house ads.
I know.
Like, you know.
I know it's probably been done, but I definitely want to do a zine with those in-house ads. You know,
same, bro.
Publishers. I gotta edit that out so that nobody steals that from me or us.
Yeah.
But anyways, great issue. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. We talked about at the beginning of the episode. I'll say it again. This is such a great series, so much great talent throughout its run, and it went for a pretty significant run. So
yeah,
we'll probably check out some more of this. Great issue. Go pick it up if you can. Back issue bins, eBay, whatever you got to do. This is something you want to pick up. And yeah, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.